I want to make a confession. There are days I don't want to come out of the bed. I don't want to do the next thing. I open my eyes and I ask myself, what am I doing with my life? I'm not sure. I feel lost. I want to procrastinate. I have been there. The question is, how can we stay strong and motivated on the way of achieving our goals on such days? And it's $1 million question. In this video, I would love to talk about that. First of all, it's important to acknowledge that such days, such moments happen to everyone. And we are not the only person who might experience such feelings. Why? Because we are human beings. Why? Because we experience all kinds of emotions, from the most positive to the most negative, on a daily basis. It's interesting to know, no matter where you are on the journey of personal development, no matter where you are on levels of awareness, we are going to forever experience different ranges of emotions. We're going to experience fear. We're going to experience the feeling that, okay, I want to procrastinate. I don't want to do anything today. I'm hopeless today. Everything, feels dark today. First step is to acknowledge that we are humans. It can happen to us as it happens to anyone else. And then we can pause. Maybe we need to recharge. Maybe we have been pushing too hard. Maybe we need to take a step backwards and take care of ourselves, because self-care is essential on the journey of becoming who we are becoming and achieving our goals and realizing our visions. So if we feel like we really need to pause, we can stay 10 more minutes in the bed. We can just rethink why we started in the first place. What was my vision? Why did I step on this journey? Some reflection, some writing, some pausing can really help us. Maybe our body needs some rest. We can listen to our body. It's really important to connect to our body, to our mind, to our psyche, to know what they need in different times. If that's what you need, give yourself some time to rest, to pause, to reflect, to get back to a strong why. I talk a lot about the strong why, and that's why writing notes and keeping a track of what you're doing, what you're working on, giving yourself feedback is really helpful, because what you can do once you feel a bit better, your energy is back, you can have a look at your notes, the feedback you have given yourself, the steps you have taken, the reflections you've done, and then decide, okay, what is the next step now? And my friends, it's not important to have a huge leap. The empowering question you can ask yourself is, what is the smallest step I can take today towards my goal, towards my vision? And it can be just a little tiny baby step. It doesn't need to be anything huge or impressive. And lo and behold, once you start doing something towards something meaningful, which is meaningful to you, your meaningful project, the motivation kicks in. The energy is back into your body, because unlike the common belief that we need motivation and energy to start doing something, actually it's just the opposite. Once we decide what is the tiniest action I can take today, and we commit to doing that because of all the chemicals produced in our body, we see that the motivation and energy kicks in again. So we tune into our body. If we need to rest, we pause, we review, we reflect, we have a look at our notes, and then we ask the empowering question. What is the next smallest step I can do? Start doing that, and you feel that the motivation and energy is getting back to you. You feel more energized to take the next step. And this is where the role of having a coach becomes absolutely critical, because you always know there is someone you can reach out to. You can send them a message, you can ask for a session, you can give them a call, you can refer to the courses you are actually doing or you have access to. And this is a critical moment to understand that having access to a coach is just like having a gym membership. You might not show up at the gym every day, but you know deep down that if you need to go to the gym, you have the membership. You're already paying for it, and you can just go to the gym whenever you want. This reassurance really helps us humans to feel that we are supported, that there is someone for whom it matters what I'm doing, how I'm feeling, and what my next step is. You actually have an accountability partner. So in those days that you feel you're not strong enough, you're not motivated enough, that's the time your coach can step in and actually take your hand and help you. How? By getting the strength and motivation from you, because it's already there. Maybe you're having a cloudy day, that's fine, but it doesn't mean the sun is not there. The coach can help you to see the sun, to see the light again, and ask yourself, what is the smallest action I can take today towards who I am becoming, towards the goal I want to achieve? And here, my friends, two concepts become really important. I've already talked about them. One of them is compound interest and the other one is chunking. Compound interest says, you show up every day, you do something very small, consistently on a long-term basis. And that's how compound interest is understood. It comes from the investing and financial world, and it can also be translated into taking small baby steps on a daily basis. The point is, I need to be consistent. I need to show up every day, no matter how small or how big the action is. I need to do something. And then chunking means I can ask myself, if I feel less motivated and less energetic today, which can happen to anyone, that is the acknowledgement phase, what is the smallest step I can take today? You just break it down into something ridiculously small. Let me give you an example. Let's imagine you have 1 week to write a report, okay? And you ask yourself, how am I going to write this? I don't have time, I'm tired, I don't feel like it. All right, I acknowledge I'm not that energetic, I'm not that motivated. What can I do? You just break it down into its smaller steps. Okay, I need to write 10 paragraphs. Then I need to write 1 paragraph at a time. Each paragraph has 10 sentences. I need to write 10 sentences. Then I need to write the first sentence. Then I need to write the first word. Before that, I need to turn on my computer. I need to start Microsoft Office Word. So what is the smallest step you can do? You can turn on your computer. What is the next small step? You can open Microsoft Office Word. What is the next small step? You can write the first word, the second, third, and then you have your first sentence. And that's how you build momentum. And before you know it, you've written the first paragraph. Other things that can help you while you're relying on compound interest and chunking is using, for example, Pomodoro technique. Pomodoro technique originally says 25 minutes of work, 5 minutes of break. If you are not particularly high on energy, you can say 5 minutes of work, 5 minutes of rest on your low days. And that's fine. We are all humans. We all experience it, I promise you. You do it, you build momentum, and before you know it, you are doing 10 minutes of work, 5 minutes of rest. 15 minutes of work, 5 minutes of rest. Pomodoro technique is amazing. Another mental hack is using Parkinson's law. What does that mean? It means I have 1 week to complete a report. I know that that's my deadline. But let's play a trick in our mind and see how it goes. Let's find out. It might work. It might not work. I really don't know. And you tell yourself, well, I have 4 days to complete this. You just create an imaginary deadline for yourself. And what that means is your mind doesn't know you have 1 week or 4 days. Whatever you tell it, it just tries to come up with a plan to complete it in the time allocated to it. You just go and try and do it. Maybe you can finish it in 4 days, maybe 4.5, maybe 5. Anyway, you have 1 week. What I'm trying to say here is not only you're using Parkinson's law, but also you're adding fun to it. Because let's face it, if it's not fun, it's not worth doing it. So you're breaking it down into smaller spaces, smaller chunks, and then you're adding fun to it. You're using Pomodoro technique. You are taking rests for sure. And if you need more rest, you're taking more rest. for the days that you're not particularly motivated or you're not feeling strong or thrilled to do that. And then you're using Parkinson's law. And what I'm trying to say here is you have a lot of tools at your disposal to help you on days that you're not particularly feeling like taking that next step towards realizing your goals. And your goal could be anything, as long as it's meaningful to you, as long as it is on the way of realizing the vision you've already written down for yourself. That's absolutely fine. And guess what? Our visions are going to change. Our goals are going to change. Our priorities are going to change. Why? Because the seasons of life are changing. One day I'm a single person. I have one priority. Next day I have a partner. Next day I have a child. Next day I decide to travel the world. Next day something different comes up. It is okay for our priorities, for our visions, for our goals to change as it is happening to our energy level, as it is happening to our motivation level. We are humans. Let's acknowledge it. Let's accept it. And one of the most important skills, which is necessary and integral to the future humans, including us, is to be adaptable and flexible. Why? Because we need to be able to pivot in the world of uncertainties. And we need to be as flexible, as agile, and as adaptable as possible. And the future belongs to the most flexible species. If we are not one of them, we might not survive. To recap, the days that we are going to wake up and we don't feel like coming out of the bed, we are all going to experience it. What can we do? What's the solution? Acknowledge it. Pause. Rest. Practice self-care. Use the techniques that you are learning, like Parkinson's law, Pomodoro technique, chunking, all that. And talk to your coach. Talk to someone you trust. Ask for help. Asking for help is one of the strongest things we can do. We always think that if I ask for help, I might look weak or I might sound weak, but actually it's the opposite. Tell yourself the story that asking for help is a sign of strength. And next time you feel down, you feel less motivated, ask for help. It could be your coach, it could be your friend, it could be your partner, someone you trust and someone you feel safe with. These two are the most important factors. Someone you trust and someone you feel safe with. And one thing that really helps me, and I want to share it with you, I'm sure it can help you. On your low days, ask yourself, what I'm doing or the action, the decision that I am making here, does this align with who I am becoming? And also remember that the future version of you is watching you. Are you taking the steps to meet that future version? Because that future version is important to you. That's what you are invested in. So tell yourself, I'm taking the next step for my future self. Like Muhammad Ali Clay, when he was defeated in boxing, he would say, and the coach would say, just the next one for the kids, for the poor people, for your people. And that would give him the energy and the motivation to continue the fight. Just use an analogy and tell yourself, the next one is for my future version. The next one is for my child. The next one is for my family. The next one is for my country. Whatever goal and vision you're moving towards. Use these collection of tools on those days, and I'm sure it's going to get you out of the bed. But the thing is, you need to practice using these before the dark days come to you. If not, it's not going to work. I hope you found this video useful, and until another video, take care and keep shining.